been gone from this town for 29 years. 29 years. Graduated high school, left relatively shortly after that, within I don't know, maybe a week or two. And I've never lived here since, but I have come back several times. I love coming back. You know, we can never really go back in life. It doesn't really matter how excited we think things are, or how great things were at one time. We can never go back. But it's great to come back and remember the good times. This was a great place to grow up. It was sort of away from the big city at that time. It was much smaller, but now it's grown and it's different. But I can always go back to the memories that I had of growing up in this place. I rode my bike all over this town. I rode places I shouldn't have. I can remember riding through people's yards. I'm sure they probably weren't all that excited about it, but they never yelled at me. Man, it was just an overall great experience growing up. That's where I spent most of my childhood. Well, I shouldn't say most of it, but more than any other time. And that first window right there, that was my bedroom. I could see out the window, and this field I'm in across the street here, I spent many, many hours. There used to be a trail that went down that right-hand side of this property that's not there anymore. But maybe it's back here. I can find our way. This looks somewhat familiar, but again, it's been 30 years. So there's the back side of the trail that doesn't exist anymore, that comes out and just sort of goes down this road. Talk about how things change. One of the places that I used to ride my bike through that nobody ever yelled at me, but I probably, was riding across somebody's yard. Let me show you what it looks like now. Look at all that fencing. Yeah, there'd be no way to get through there now. Used to go right there, and then we'd come through here and go up this street. Get right into town. That's the way it was. The myth, the legend.
Rock, pan right up here. Pan right up here. Rockford R. Todd.
Oh, that was when Micah came up to the game, right?
What are you doing? Are you doing a YouTube video? Am I a YouTube sensation?
You are a YouTube sensation. At this point, you might be asking yourself, Rockford, why are you showing us this video from your hometown? Well, the point is not so much that you experience my hometown, but it is for me to remember where I came from. You see, starting on this journey to being self-employed, to living out the calling that I feel that I have on my life, I've got to get back to where I started. I've got to get back to that place where I was that young kid that felt that life was still out in front of me. Shortly after high school, I started down the career path I felt like I was going to be on. I felt like I had started and that I was well on my way to being the person that I was supposed to be. Fast forward a few years, a few choices that I made put me on a different path. Not that it's been bad and not that it was terrible. I'm still doing those same things. I'm just doing them in a new way. And I'm doing them in a way that fulfills the calling that I have, and it fulfills the joy that I get from doing these types of things. I'm doing it because this is what I'm built to do. And interestingly enough, if you go one way for a long time and you sort of build these habits into your life, you sort of forget how to be the person that you're called to be. And that was the point of going back through my hometown and doing a little bit of video and just sort of remembering where I came from.